and welcome campers to week 4 of Quilt Camp 2021. This week our block is called Basket Weave. I'm Angie with Peach Orchard Creations and I can't wait to help you with this block. So this block is focusing on rectangles, some strip piecing, and it's going to be pretty quick, pretty easy, and I'm excited to do it. So let's dive right on in. These are my strips from last week. They're 2.5 inches wide. This week, thankfully, I only need 2 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim 22 inches off. Okay, I hardly ever use my ruler to cut, but in this instance, when I have such a long piece, and I know probably most of y'all don't have super long rulers, I'm gonna use the mat to cut. But normally, I really suggest not using your mat to make cuts, just because it's not as precise. Okay, so now I have this scrap piece for later, and I can fold this in half to get my 2-inch width of the strip, like that. There we go. And then I just lay this down, and I've got my 2 inches right there. And look at that. Boom, there is piece A. Alrighty, so we've cut all the pieces as the pattern indicates, and now we are going to put our strip pieces together. So, pretty simple. Just follow the instructions, and the biggest thing here is really stick with that 1/4 inch seam, and again, you can pin if you'd like. I'm not a pinner. And then slow and steady, don't speed up too much because it will cause stretching and can cause your strips to bow almost. So just take your time, don't super speed race through it because that will cause some bowing in your strips. And I sew also this one on in this direction, and then I'll show you, I'll flip it and sew the other one on from this end, and that helps keep your strip straight and having less wonkiness going on. So now we have our lovely chain piece strip set, and she says to press to the dark side. So you will put the colored side up, or your main fabric up with your background down beneath it, and then you'll just iron her back. Do your best not to stretch here or manipulate the seam. You can spray it if so desired, but just do your best not to add any curving to the block as you press it. There you go, my beautiful chain piece. And now I'm gonna sew from the other direction. So I sewed from this direction. I started this direction obviously last time because that's where it's chain pieced. And now I'm gonna sew from this end. And that also helps keep the wonkiness down, keeps your strips from getting all weird. And again, I have all of my beautiful strips together, and I will press to the dark side. So there you have it. All of these lovely, lovely, lovely strip sets. So we've got all our strip sets made, and now we're gonna do the fun part, which is chopping it all up. So we've got fabric A, B, C, D, and E. And we're gonna go ahead and start with A. In the pattern, she tells you what size to do that. Line up my ruler. I just like to put one of my dark lines on the seam Check that it lines up with the bottom here and the top. And we're going to just trim off, give us a good clean start edge over here. So I'll chop that off. In the pattern, she also tells you how many blocks you have to get out of each color. So there you go. Super clear pattern, love it. So I just realized I'm a goofball and I cut my background strips too wide. So super easy to fix. I was like, I wonder why these are so strange. So I just line up and I can trim off the extra 1/4 inch I added to each block. Y'all, everybody makes mistakes, obviously. What I'm demonstrating here. So yeah. Anyway, so there, and you get your perfect square. So now I've got all my little squares. I'm gonna call these candies, even though it's basket weaving. I mean, it's like, I don't know, they just remind me of like I don't know what, but they're so freaking cute. So got all these knocked out, realized I just can't stop laughing at myself. I mean, good Lord. So there we go. All the sweet little candies all cut up and ready to be thrown into a block. So let me just jump right into the layout portion. She gives you a great graphic. So just follow the graphic and it's really, really easy. So for this part, what I'll actually do is I'll grab a big ruler, whatever the biggest thing I have, or like in a wool mat, an iron mat, or whatever. And I'll just lay my pieces out. Make sure I get them in the right order. A, B, C, D, bleh. Okay, so I've got all my little tiles over here. And then I'm just gonna follow the graphic and I'm gonna grab and I lay them out on here. And then I can just lay this to the edge of my machine and piece them together. Super, super easy. If I wasn't filming it, I would have already moved my machine and I'd lay this out all to one side or the other, but I'm filming, so this is what you get. Tip, put it on something, and then you can just kind of pick it up and move it. If you want, I'll probably lay mine right here so then I can move my machine back over and piece it for you. So let's go. And to create this, you're just going to alternate pressing the rows in different directions. So I'll explain that as we go. But now we're just gonna kind of chain piece this puppy together. I'm gonna do it row by row so I can get my pressing going the right way without too much overthinking. You could chain piece all of these together, yada, yada. But I'm gonna do it this way. So I'm gonna start at the top. I've got my first and my second piece. Just gonna knock this out. Okay, so now I can piece my rows together, and on the little squares, all of them are going to be nice and nested just like that. There's that seam, there's that seam. So just get to bust these out. And there you go, all done, beautiful. Wait, like this, all done and beautiful. Super fun block to put together. Great time to practice nested seams and getting those straight strip sets to create those beautiful rectangles that are displayed throughout this block, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, so yay! So this is the basket weave block for this week, week 4 of the Quilt Camp QAL Wk 2021. And I have to tell you, I'm having a blast making this quilt. I love sampler quilts, but this quilt, there's just something about it that is so fun. And the camp theme is just killing it for me. So I really enjoy this. So don't forget, reminder, post your picture of your finished basket weave block by Sunday night so you can be entered in this week's giveaway. Shout out to our amazing sponsors, Hoff Mama Company, the designer of this block, and Aliso, for this week's giveaway. So make sure you go follow them. Their links will be down below, as well as get that picture posted. We want to see all these gorgeous blocks. So we have now finished week 2, week 3, and week 4. And I cannot wait till I see you next week for week 5. Talk to you soon. Happy quilting!